Adam, we are back with a quick video. I promised the people on Twitter about this as well that is coming, but we have StrangeCast further away for a time being, and this is hot off the press as well. So should we just jump straight into this piece of news for the fine people?
Yeah.
So let me just call up this graphic as well, which you have on Twitter, and you can follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky and all these platforms, whichever one you want. I'm not calling it X. It sounds horrible. As you can see there, it says Square Enix has a research opportunity for the Life is Strange series. It will be held in LA, California, specifically in the El Segundo area. There's a website live for it. You can register your interest, and it takes place on the 15th of March, and it pays $200. You have to be 18 or older, which is being held there. And just kind of pull up as well from my little Twitter page as well, as I am annoying on there. I did post that as well. As you can see, that's from the video screen grab, which was Saturday, 15th of March. It says, if you're an LA-based Life is Strange fan, want to make your opinions heard and get paid for it, we need you. Head to our bio link to find out more and register to take part. So it's all there, and there's a registration page here. I won't go through that, but I did screenshot some of these images here, so you can check them out. This is just from the process of being part of it. There is an NDA to get involved in this as well if you're going to sign an NDA afterwards for it. So as you can see, there's a question that says, you previously stated you have played Life is Strange game. Which of the followings have you played? Which is a variation of all the different entries. And you can answer saying not sure any of them. What best describes your experience of Life is Strange games you've played? Which goes from played the game a little bit, but did not finish, all the way up to finish the game, replayed it. Played the game a lot, but did not finish it, finished the game. It has all the main entries in the series. And then also as well, tell us about your favorite Life is Strange moment. Please be specific as possible. And then a big one, which was in the original Life is Strange, which of the following characters did you romance? Warren, Chloe? I didn't romance any characters. I don't recall, which is an interesting choice as well. And then which ending did you get for the original Life is Strange? Save Chloe by sacrificing the town of Arcadia Bay. Save the town of Arcadia by sacrificing Chloe. I played through both endings. I'm not too sure. So there's different options there, as you can see. So this was all covered in here. Nice Field is on the way to LA as well. I'm just going to plug that in. So it's going to happen. Nice Field's going there. Yes. Adam, survey times. We are back on it. So for context, we did record in, I believe it was December last year, when they held a research opportunity in London, in the United Kingdom. Bloody hell, Life is Strange research opportunity happened in the UK, but now we have it in LA. What is your feeling? Is Chloe Price coming back now because the feedback is coming in?
I don't know. I feel like every single one of these fans that will fill out these surveys, Chloe is one of the most beloved characters of video game history. Let's be honest here. Like, can we argue in terms of like side characters of like video games of all time? Chloe Price, top 50? Can we say?
Yeah.
Top 50?
This is Bonnie and Clyde, man. You can't disassociate them.
So like in terms of like side characters, not main characters, but like characters by your side, I think Chloe Price is like up there, like in top 50. That might be a hot take.
No,
sorry, YouTube.
I think it's reasonable.
Because, so I will say that these surveys are based in London and now LA. We're seeing like a lot of people like putting in surveys, and they are including Chloe within this survey. Like, which one did you romance? What kind of ending did you have? So I do think that there is something to say about that. They are trying to see like, how can we get Chloe Price back, and in what capacity, what writer, what actress to portray it. So I think it's a strong shot, but I still don't see it happening, man. I don't.
Yeah, it's look, we've talked about focus groups, paid research groups, all these kind of things. Death by focus groups all the way. I've said this repeatedly. You probably focus group your way into this mess. You're not focus grouping yourself out of this mess. This isn't just Life is Strange double exposure specific. This is generally perception of the entire franchise, I imagine they're taking away. Because again, it could be, let's spin off a Safi prose novel. Let's spin off a Amanda novel, comic. Or maybe we do need to figure out what happened to double exposure. If you need to figure out that problem, go on the internet and find it. You can even watch StrangeCast review as well to find out what the problems were there. It was very much heavily panned and criticized with it. Focus groups aren't useful. They're not. I'm going to argue that to the end of Kingdom Come. Because, for example, let me just take this for example. Let's take a couple of people. Life is 2D, Lucky Fonts, KJL. Take a couple of people that watch the show regular or watch the channel, right? Their feedback for our content is more useful than, for example, if me and you hit the lottery tomorrow and we still decided to make videos. Imagine we went to an agency and said, let's get a focus group done and let's find out how to fix the podcast and let's think about reaching to a wider audience. So people start coming in and give feedback and they're saying, oh, I don't like him because he's an annoying co-host and I don't like him or I don't like how they format things. And they gave us feedback. We reformatted the show. And then, for example, those people I brought in as well, they come and watch the show and they're like, this isn't StrangeCast anymore. This isn't our show.
Can I give you a strong example here?
Yes.
Do you know how movie trailers kind of give away the plots of the movie? That's because of focus groups. And focus groups, they see a trailer and it's all mysterious. People in the focus group have said, and this is documented, people have said like, oh, what's going to happen to him? And the focus like surveyists, I don't know. They will survey members will say, well, no, that's going to give away the plot. But people want to know what the ending is before they go see the movie, and that's why a lot of movie trailers, they have pretty much the entire plot within the trailer, and that's what surveys do. That's what focus groups do. They kind of, I'm going to say it, like they kind of ruin it for the rest of us.
I agree. Can I give you a famous example as well?
Yes, go for it.
Because it's here as well, which I just pulled up on Google. In the context of I Am Legend, a focus group ending refers to the film's theatrical ending, which was heavily influenced by test audience feedback, where the original, a more complex, nuanced conclusion was altered to be more commercially appealing, essentially remove the depth of the Dark Seeker's intelligence and provide the potential for comparison, leaving a more straightforward hero narrative instead. This has been debated a lot, the focus group stuff on like as you see it's in the Reddit as well. That was one that was influenced by focus group and people did not like that. And it was like, you're right though, because like even when they do it with marketing, they want people to get hooked in. Again, it's that sledgehammer approach. Hit them in the face, they see it and they're like, I've seen it with people with Lost Records. People like spoil the ending for me on TikTok. I'm like, why? Play the game. I'm not going to ruin it here because I know this is not spoiler filled anything else. People like ruin it for me. I was like, why? Just play the freaking game. But that's how people act. It's like, as you said, people will want to know the spoiler twist, even if it's like they'll still go and play it later. I'm like, ruins the experience. But essentially, and I've talked about this on Twitter with other people who are interacting, and even when I was posting it out as well, this doesn't achieve anything. Because, for example, me and you and Nicefield in the plane, right? We're on the plane. Yes. And say if I'm sitting next to Nicefield's like giving positive feedback. I'm just using Nicefield as an example. Nicefield's giving really great feedback and saying, this has happened, all this stuff about double exposure, let's fix this. And you're sitting there as well, barking, but also giving positive feedback. And then, for example, say if I'm sitting next to you and I'm to both of you, I'm like, I hate Chloe Price. You'd both look at me and be like, what? And I'm like, and at the same time, all I'm going to say is like, oh, I'm just doing it for the fun because I'm here for the sake of it. But it's like, you can't change that. So basically, it ultimately comes down to who's there. Who is the right fan to give feedback here? Mm-hmm. Who is saying anything? Because you could basically have a 50 focus group people and 20 people could despise Chloe Price. 20 people could love double exposure. 10 people could hate it. So you're not getting a full metrics gauge of it because you're balancing out off feedback. Very famous. I always refer back to it, the Simpsons sketch. Poochie comes in. What does that episode really... It tells you very much what a focus group represents. Within the end of the episode, Poochie is gone and it's gone back to the Itchy and Scratchy show because what they realize, it's like, we love Itchy and Scratchy. We were just a bit bored of it at the time being, but we'll come back to it. And instead, they try and introduce Poochie because they got a focus feedback group where it's like, oh, we want another character. We need something to refresh this up. It's like, it doesn't do anything. This is just data collection, and it's ultimately down to Square Enix where they go with this as well. It seems a bit different, this, because when I went on it, it has like Square Enix's logo and you know, for the feedback and stuff, where if you want to register your interest. Because one thing I don't know about the London group, for example, that was under NDA. That was conducted by 2CV, the company, that marketing agency. Square has used them before. Was anyone from Square actually there? I don't know. I wasn't there, unfortunately. So it's like, I don't know if anyone from Square was there. Were they actually in the room? Were they actively just doing agency to get this? Because in itself, if they're collecting data from people, will they see the emotions come out of people? Because I don't think anyone's going to go there screaming and stuff, but people will express like disappointment. And it's not going to show in the feedback. But again, anything could happen, man. It's just not going to happen like that because they could just look at the feedback and like, well, people are really upset that Chloe wasn't in the game, but actually, you know what? We could just spin off a prose novel for it instead to kind of appease that fandom. So it's not going to
Yeah.
guarantee the influence on the series immediately. Long term, it might, but I just don't know because the immediate, like, look where the time scale is for double exposure and stuff, and the way that the Max Caulfield will return. Unless they're scrapping the entire project from start to finish, is this really going to change it? People were doing it with the
Yeah.
London survey where they're like, the next entry in the series is going to be fantastic, and they're listening to feedback. Look at the time scale, like where we're at with this
Yeah.
game. It's like we're not gonna, like, they can't make those kind of, like, unless they're really willing to like scrap everything in the budgets. I think where you're at is where you're at with things. But I'm just a little bit like sitting there thinking, like, again, focus group. And by the way, Square Enix has done this after pretty much almost every mainline Life is Strange entry. It's always been a survey there. It's like, here's a survey. You're 5 mainline games into your franchise, and you're still asking for fan feedback or focus groups.
Yeah.
Can you please like at least entertain me on that? I'd be like, how ridiculous that is. The fact that there's 5 mainline entries in Life is Strange, and you're still asking for fan feedback and for fan reception of things, and you wonder why Life is Strange looks like it does in 2025. It's like, what's happened here?
What's happened here is Square Enix. They don't
Yeah.
understand anything. They haven't understood anything for a decade at this point. So I don't know, man. I do agree with you. And with this whole like Twitter thing where we just saw somebody asking when's the next Life is Strange coming out, and they this Life is Strange. I believe it was the Life is, or it was Deck 9 Twitter page, just at the eyes. Like, ooh, I don't know. There's no way. There's no way it's coming out soon. There's no way. Absolutely not.
Unless it's unless it's the 5th member from Lost Records that's making this game or something. Like, I don't really know how you can do this. Like, let me just point you one more thing as well quickly, because there was one or two other. I can't get all the replies, but there was certain people that responded. Like this person here, Park said, went to the London one recently, went well. Obviously under NDA. Kev is here doing the investigation for us. How long did it take? Or can you not say because of NDA? I think it was about 3 hours at most. It feels a lot less. And then just generally speaking as well, it says like, yup, it's definitely worth it in my opinion. Obviously, I can't say what was discussed, but I hope they take into account I was in the group that hadn't played DE, so maybe our opinions were a little biased. Yeah.
Biased, yeah.
And then it's like that is a good point. So just generally speaking, like just conversation as well. You got Lowbot there for £90 as well, compared to $115. Standard thing, but it's like, again, that's really nice that people have a good experience. And please don't jump into the comments saying that, oh, well, they showed us this and this, and that. We've seen what happens with NDAs. If you sign an NDA, it's an NDA, you know? Be very careful of that, because I'm not, you can get your last laugh over me, but I'm also not going to be bailing you out when you're in prison or something. Like, this extreme example. But the other thing to kind of like more or less wrap up here as well. I could probably say I know what they're going to be shown there. I don't need to be in the room for the NDA. Like, unless something happens, Ashley Birch bursts out of the room. That's something that I don't know about this series for the time being. I'm very much glued into certain things. So I could imagine and piece together what they were shown or what they were discussed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, it's nice for people like that to have their reception. And I saw other people saying that I had a good time there and stuff. But is that going to be related to the monolithic publisher that runs this franchise? And will they change anything? Because ultimately, we're still at a very stagnating route, which is, for example, Deck 9 is currently down to 100 employees, if not less now. They slashed every creative lead that was on this part of this, on the double exposure. The game is the lowest rated game in the Metacritic series. It's fractured a fan base. You've boxed yourself into narrative corners. Are you really going to be able to fix this off this? And for me, this just seems like a general reassessment of the franchise, if anything. It feels like they're researching for other parts of the franchise and to maybe move into a different direction in the future. So I don't know if there's going to be anything changing here.
No, I don't believe so. I just I think they're stuck in their ways. I think they have their formula, and I don't think they want to veer away from it. I think they just want to justify, like, oh no, we did ask, and this is what you said. So I don't know. I don't think so.
No, it's for me, it's such a bad luck to focus group you focus group yourself into this mess, and you're trying to focus group yourself out of this mess. It ain't gonna work. There's a lot of there's a lot of feedback online. It's free as well. You don't have to pay people $200 for it, and you'll get the reactions.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about the emotional ones as well. And the people are like, oh, it's just they hate the game because it's Chloe Price and stuff.
That's what social media managers are for. Like, honestly, like that's their whole job is to get feedback. So,
they're not stupid. They've seen their Twitter feeds. They've seen the reaction on that. They know that that they're struggling with it. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Are you actually going to it? You know, hopefully you do get to sign up for it. Hopefully you can relay your feedback as well. Remember, an NDA is an NDA. I'm looking for your best interest here as well. So, let us know if you want to go there. Let us know if you're flying with Nicefield on the plane. But yeah, if anything, I'm Adnan, obviously, for the new people here. That's Adam, whichever side he appears on. We host StrangeCast, Life is Strange fan podcast. We're going to be turning 4 this year in March as well. So it's 4 years old. We're almost at 100 episodes, so do check that out. We do a Lost Records podcast as well, about Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Don't know Montreal, so do check that out as well. It's bi-weekly. Both podcasts are bi-weekly. And obviously, if you are new here, please do consider dropping a subscribe on the channel. Turn on notifications. Like this video. If you do not like this video, I'm going to focus group you out of this comments, out of the video. You will be gone. You'll be banished. That's what's going to happen to you. So yes, like the video and subscribe as well. It helps support us. We're at 1,600 subscribers, and follow us on social media as well. We're on all social media platforms because you can get access to all kinds of content and news updates. But yeah, we'll sign off here, Adam. More focus groups I'm sure we'll be covering in the future. Anyway, guys, see you later. Bye.
Bye.